Hey guys, Foxy's Trading here, back with another crypto video for you guys, and we are back talking about Brett. Now, before we get into price action and market structure, Brett and myself is wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving for all my US listeners and even non-US listeners. Thankful for you guys, for the meme coin community growing, becoming stronger, showing people that meme coins can be a part of crypto. So, looking at coin market cap, we are up in price, but we are down in volume and we are slightly up in market cap, 87% bullish on the community sentiment. And we are still waiting on that Coinbase listing, right? I don't know why it hasn't come out yet. I feel like they do have a strategy in mind because they wouldn't be waiting so long to release it if it's already released on Toshi, right? It just kind of doesn't make sense to me. So I wouldn't be surprised if they hit us with a partnership and then also a Coinbase listing and really try to pump price up. So looking at price and market structure, we have been in a bearish trend, right? Let's do a little recap. We have our highs, we have our lower low, lower high, lower low. Well, sorry, that's actually a higher low, but lower low, right? So bearish trend to the downside. Okay, very easy to see. And what did I want happening? Well, I wanted this big manipulation candle to get reaccumulated, right? So basically all of this price right over here, I wanted to get rebounded and then pushed to the upside. Now, we almost got a liquidity sweep. I would have loved it if we did get that liquidity sweep, because then I would think that our push to the upside would be a lot stronger and a lot more secure, right? Because in the back of my mind, getting back into this support zone, or I should say now a resistance zone for Brett, there is still an idea in me that we might take out liquidity, right? Because it hasn't been swept. Is it possible price moves to the upside without taking out the lows? It is possible, but my conviction would just be stronger if we did take it out. We didn't, and we are pushing to the upside, which is good. So let's break it down on the daily maybe. See what's happening. Let me get rid of this zone for you guys actually, so it'll be easier to see. There we go. Okay. So we reaccumulate, right? We barely have anything left. And also, I was calling out in my last video that a buy right here would have been fantastic, right? So if you pulled the trigger a little bit higher right over here, or honestly anywhere in this area at these lows, it was such a discounted price where I would have taken the risk and bought up, taken that trade, taken that investment because of the discounted price, because of the ROI, right? It's such a high ROI. And are you risking really that much? Do we think Brett can go all the way down here? No, right? Most likely that's not going to happen. Worst case scenario, we take out liquidity and then we push to the upside. But even that right now is kind of looking, I would say, unlikely. So let's talk about what's happening on the daily, right? On the daily, we still were in a bearish trend, right? We had our highs, we had our lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? Down trend. And what has happened now? We are slightly changing our shift. Now, is it a full market structure shift? I wouldn't say it is just yet, right? I've said this many times. Just because we make one higher high above this high, which barely we made it, does not necessarily mean we are going to push to the upside. Is it possible? Yes, sure. But I like seeing more than one high being taken before I am fully confident that we have changed into now a bullish trend, because there is nothing really stopping us from doing this, right? Well, that is kind of true and untrue at the same time, because we do have this fair value gap on the daily, right? So this does give us a little bit of security, and we do see that today we are testing it. So if I were to say if we close above, then it is possible we might retest this area and bounce up once again, right? So is the downside possible? It is. Is it likely though? I would say no. If we were to ever close below this daily fair value gap, I'm almost certain two things would happen, which was one, this liquidity would be swept, or two, this liquidity would be swept, and then we would get the real push to the upside. But if those things don't happen, we can start seeing the push to the upside from right now, right? And I think honestly, most of you would want to be seeing that because of our red weeks. We want to start seeing some green weeks, okay? So maybe some of you already thought of this, but this area from here to here, that is a strong buying zone, right? Because we have a little bit of security that we have formed an imbalance and that we are testing this imbalance right now, and we are not going to close below it. So I would say if the price gets back to this area, right, 0.18 to 0.16 area, I would say that is a good shout for a buy. Okay. And then what would we have to do to see further upsides? Well, as you can see to the left, because we always want to be looking at price to the left, there's not much here really to stop us, right? There's no zones, there's no fair value gaps, there's no order blocks, there's no imbalances, there's no liquidity. There really isn't much to stop price from moving to the upside. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a push, it'll be to this area. Now, this area, maybe you can see it. One, it is an accumulation of volume, so price might be halted a little bit there. But what else can we see that is there? You can see that we have an imbalance in price, right? Once again, another zone that is a key level, which would make sense why price would want to go there, because price heads towards money, and money is held in liquidity and in zones with accumulation of volume or imbalances, right? So places that make sense is where people and the price is headed towards. And we can see that this is a strong area because for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row, price has tested this area and it said, no, I am not ready to go up. We are pushing to the downside, right? So this is the last zone before this big push to the downside. So we can assume that a closure above this zone would propel us to the upside even more, right? So it is pushing a little bit far ahead, but I'm still going to continue this trend, right? So let's just say price closes the way it is, it retests, pushes higher, gets into this zone, maybe consolidates for a day or two, pushes above, retests. Okay, where do I think price is headed next? To me, the next area that makes sense over here would be this wick, right? Originally, I would have said this wick, but it didn't sweep liquidity over here, so it's not the strongest of highs. This high is much stronger. So I wouldn't be surprised if price gets here, right? Takes this out, takes it out around here, and then pushes to the downside, reaccumulating before it wants to push to the upside. And once again, what do you guys see when we get to this area? Another imbalance in price, another zone that we are going to have to test and break through. And you can see, right, multiple days we have tested this area and said we are respecting it and pushing further down. So you can just see how crucial these levels are, and they are everywhere on the market, right? No matter where you look, they are there. If you look on the weekly, they're going to be there, right? On the daily, on the 4 hour, on the monthly, hourly, 5 minutes, whatever you are looking at. Now, I will say, I don't look at the 4, 5, 30, 15, hourly even when I'm investing, because I'm looking into the future, right? Making these zones in a 5, 15, 30 minute area just doesn't make sense to me unless you are doing a day trade. Because if you're looking at the long term, those zones will not hold up when price accumulates, let's just say in an area for 2 weeks versus 30 minutes, right? You can see how much more volume will be accumulated in that bigger time frame zone. That's why I look at the bigger time frames when it comes to investments. So I really don't go below the 1 hour. My favorites are 1 hour, 4 hour daily, and the weekly. Those are what I look for as investments, as longer hold periods. If I am looking to day trade, yes, then I will go below that 1 hour mark, but that is a whole different ballgame that I don't think many of you are interested in. So you guys know my view, right? We have been in a bearish downtrend. We are starting to form bullish, we have been formed with two key levels. We would want to see price respect this key level, retest it. People will buy up, be happy, then go to the next area, possibly consolidate, break above it, and then our true confirmation will be that we are pushing bullish, and then we will have to adapt further and look to the left where price will go, right? Now, do I think this is going to happen before the end of the year? It's going to be tough, right? I wouldn't be surprised. I do think we are going to get to this zone by the end of the year. Are we going to break above it? We have to see. As we know, market is manipulated, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how the market wants to move, because I really believe in 2026 we are going to get the altcoin season. I think Bitcoin's going to close very weak. I think the Bitcoin dominance is going to change and the CME gap got filled. Maybe these things don't matter to you guys. You don't know what they are. That's fine. But all things look like we are going to get altcoin season soon. And with altcoin season bull run, that means meme coins will pump likewise. So I am fully expecting Brett to go up, especially when they do give us that Coinbase listing with more volume, more eyes, more liquidity. I see a pump coming. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, Brett, comment if you have any questions, concerns at all, let me know. Hit that subscribe button. It really does mean a lot to me. Make sure you guys do your own research because I'm not a financial advisor, and I'll see everybody in the next video.